Today we're going to discover together what they don't tell you about booking on Booking.com. From hidden prices to mistakes that could leave you stranded at the airport. And at the end, I'll tell you exactly when it's worth booking through Booking.com and when it's better to run the other way. There's something deeply reassuring about having your whole trip sorted out in just a couple of clicks. I went on Booking.com, found a good hotel deal, the flight times were convenient, and the price seemed fair. I had no reason to be suspicious. I received confirmation emails and the itinerary was complete. Everything was perfect. But when I got to the airport, the unthinkable happened. I walked up to the airline counter to check in. I showed the code that Booking had sent me, the same one I had checked at least 3 times the night before. And then, the airline employee frowned. He started typing into his system and then told me, in that monotone voice that seems designed not to convey any emotion, "Sir, we can't find your reservation in the system." After several minutes of waiting and phone calls, we discovered the cause. Booking had processed the reservation through a third party, an intermediary who was supposedly supposed to issue the ticket. But something went wrong. The payment went through, but the ticket wasn't generated correctly. And of course, no one took responsibility. Booking said the problem was with the external agency. The agency didn't respond. The airline could only say that I wasn't on their passenger list. And my flight, the one I was sure I had secured, took off without me. And you know what's worse? This isn't an isolated case. On travel forums, YouTube videos, and hidden blogs, there are dozens of similar stories. People who trusted a giant platform and ended up stuck in limbo between companies passing the buck to each other. All of this made me ask myself a question that maybe you're asking yourself too. Is it really worth booking on Booking, or are we just paying for a false sense of security? Because when everything goes well, Booking is convenient, fast, and even makes you feel like an expert traveler. But when something goes wrong, you discover a side that many people would rather not talk about. And it's exactly that side that we're going to explore in this video. If millions of people use Booking every month, they must be doing something right. And the truth is, yes, there are very good reasons why this platform has become one of the most used in the world when it comes to planning a trip. Booking doesn't just offer accommodations. In recent years, they've expanded their offerings. Now you can book flights, transfers, car rentals, and even tourist attractions all in one place. And honestly, that is incredibly convenient. In a world where time is money, having everything on a single platform is a real advantage. You don't have to jump from website to website, compare across 1,000 tabs, or deal with multiple confirmation emails. Booking centralizes everything, and that gives you a sense of control that many people deeply appreciate. Another plus is the free cancellation policy on many of their bookings. If you're the kind of person who changes their mind or just likes to travel with some flexibility, this is gold. And of course, there's the Genius program. Booking has created a sort of loyalty club where the more you book, the more perks you unlock. From secret discounts to room upgrades, free breakfast, or late checkout. Plus, the mobile app is intuitive, well-designed, and lets you manage everything right from your phone. You can see your reservations in real time, get alerts, chat with the property, and keep your entire itinerary in one place. And if that wasn't enough, Booking also inspires trust. It's a globally recognized platform, and that matters. When you're about to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on a vacation, choosing a well-known company gives you a certain peace of mind. Sometimes, just to avoid taking risks, you'd rather go with the name that stands out the most. Up to this point, everything seems perfect, right? But as is often the case with many things on the internet, the pretty face is usually just one part of the story. And that's exactly where the nuances begin, the fine print that doesn't show up in the big letters. Even though everything mentioned before is true, there are aspects of Booking few people know that could end up costing you more than you think. Everything we've seen so far is real. Booking is convenient, reliable, intuitive, but it also has a side few travelers know. A side that doesn't show up in the ads, and that side is often what costs you money without you even noticing. Let's get to the first big truth. The commissions that Booking charges hotels are extremely high. In some cases, they can reach up to 60% of the reservation value. Yes, 60. That means if you pay $100 for a night, the hotel might only be getting 40. And of course, that has consequences. To make up for it, many accommodations inflate the base price you see on Booking. And here comes the second big point. Hotels don't have the freedom to compete with Booking. The portal's policies prevent hotels, in many countries, from posting cheaper rates on their own websites. This is called a price parity clause. In other words, even if the hotel wanted to give you a better price for booking directly, they can't show it publicly. Booking would block it. Another important issue, sometimes the prices you see don't include taxes. In certain countries, the amounts shown on Booking don't reflect local taxes, which can increase your bill by as much as 30 or 40% at the time of payment. Imagine booking a hotel for $100 and ending up paying $140. That difference isn't always clear. And we can't leave out something crucial. Booking doesn't offer financing. While other platforms like Despegar or even some airlines let you pay in installments, Booking usually requires full payment or, at most, in 2 parts. This can be a problem if you're booking in advance and want to spread out the expense. And just to be clear, I'm not saying that Booking is a bad platform. What I'm saying is that it's not as transparent as it seems, and if you don't read carefully, you could end up paying more for less. When Booking launched its option to book flights, a lot of us thought, great, now I really have everything in one place. Of course, the idea sounds perfect. You search flights, compare schedules, pick class, airline, layovers, and buy, all without leaving the platform. But here's what very few people know. Booking doesn't actually sell the flights directly. In most cases, Booking acts as an intermediary, or even worse, as a showcase that connects you to other external agencies. And what does that mean? It means that when you buy a flight on Booking, your reservation is likely handled by a third party, a digital travel agency that Booking links you to. It's like you go to buy on Booking, but when it comes time to pay, you're not actually buying from Booking, but from someone else who's operating in the background. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a real headache when something goes wrong. Booking doesn't have direct control over flight reservations. They're simply facilitating the purchase. And this, even though it sounds bureaucratic, means your ticket doesn't have immediate support. Plus, there's another detail that many people overlook: the luggage. In many cases, the price you see on Booking doesn't include checked baggage, just carry on, or sometimes nothing at all. The problem is that this isn't always clearly shown. It might show up in small print or only when you get to the final screen before paying. Booking doesn't handle check-in. Once you buy your flight, you have to go to the airline's website or app yourself to check in. It's not automatic, and they don't remind you like a traditional agency would. And let's not forget something else that's useful. Booking doesn't always show all available airlines. Since they work with commercial agreements, it's possible that some cheaper or more direct options won't show up in the results. So you might think you found the best price, when in reality another airline was offering it cheaper directly on their website. After everything we've seen, you might think Booking is a trap. But no, the truth is more nuanced. Booking is neither a hero nor a villain. It's a tool, and like any tool, its value depends on how you use it. When is it actually worth booking on Booking? When you want to compare accommodations quickly and visually. If you need flexible cancellation without having to beg the hotel. When you're looking for a variety of options and don't have time to check every website one by one. If you're a Genius member and have already accumulated benefits that give you discounts or exclusive perks. Or when you're traveling to destinations where small hotels don't even have their own website. In those situations, Booking saves you time, gives you flexibility, and centralizes everything. And that has value. Even with flights, there are times when it can be useful if the price is competitive, if it's a simple and direct flight, or if you just want to have everything in one place for organizational purposes. But when is it not worth it? When you're looking for the absolute lowest price. The truth is, Booking isn't always the cheapest. Many times you'll find cheaper rates on the hotel's or airline's official website. When you need to finance your trip, Booking doesn't offer installment payment options, and for many travelers, that makes a big difference. When your flight has complex layovers, specific baggage rules, or special conditions. Since Booking doesn't manage it directly, they can't help you if there's any change. And especially when you don't have much travel experience. Booking can give you a false sense of control, but if you don't understand how check-in works, the extra fees, or how to handle your luggage, it's very easy to make costly mistakes. After going through all of this, you might be thinking, okay, I didn't know there were so many hidden details. So how do I use Booking without getting the short end of the stick? And that's exactly the right question to ask. Here are 7 golden rules to help you make the most of Booking without falling into common traps or accidentally overpaying. Rule number 1, always compare, even if Booking seems cheap to you. Before you book, open another tab and check the same hotel or flight directly on the provider's website. Many times, you'll find the same or even better prices, along with extra perks like breakfast included or more flexible policies. Rule number 2, don't trust just the visible price. Make sure the prices include taxes. Booking sometimes shows them separately or leaves them out entirely on the first screen. Before you pay, go all the way to the last page of the process and check the total with all charges included. A tiny line in gray print could end up costing you hundreds of dollars. Rule number 3, if you're flying, check everything with a fine-tooth comb. When you book flights, make sure it includes exactly the fare. Does it include luggage? Does it let you change dates? Will you have to check in yourself on another website? And most importantly, check who is actually providing the flight. Sometimes a third party handles the ticket, and that can make things complicated if there are delays, cancellations, or name errors. Rule number 4, don't assume Booking is responsible for everything. When something goes wrong, Booking will often send you to the issuing agency or directly to the airline. Keep this in mind before you buy. If you prefer more hands-on support, it might be better to use an agency that actually handles the whole process. Rule number 5, use Booking to explore, not to book right away. You want to find ideas, filter accommodations, or check out flight options. Booking is excellent for that, but don't fall for the artificial urgency of last room available or 5 other users are looking at this offer. Most of those alerts are marketing pressure, not actual facts. Take a breath, compare, and make your decision calmly. Rule number 6, if you travel often, take advantage of Genius. If you're a frequent traveler, Booking's Genius program does offer real benefits, hidden discounts, late checkout, better rooms. But it only applies to selected hotels, so use it as a bonus, not as your only reason to book there. Rule number 7, if something seems too good to be true, it probably has fine print. A 5-star hotel, breakfast included, free cancellation, and half the price. Check it carefully. Read the reviews, make sure the location is good, look at real photos, and be sure it's not a scam offer. Booking is easy. Traveling well takes attention. And if you also have any strange stories with Booking, leave them in the comments. See you in the comments. Booking can be your ally or your biggest mistake. And the difference isn't made by the platform, it's made by you with the right information. So the next time you're about to book that dream flight or that hotel to get away from it all, remember everything you just saw in this video.